Well, friends, tonight I want to get into a very interesting piece of content where we go from skit life to real life. So, tonight's content is on the creator, Anton Daniels. And if y'all don't know Anton, Anton is a married man and he has someone on his panel called Micca. She's also married. And I found today that we spoke about like just inappropriate scenarios because, Anthony does a bunch of inappropriate things. Like, for example, this that he did today was very inappropriate.
Do you think I'm a terrible husband? There was a time you thought I would make a good husband.
And look how that turned out.
Why this was inappropriate is because this is still the woman that Anthony actually had a baby with, who is now a baby mother for his wife, who was also his wife's best friend. Very confusing, I know. The point of the matter is, it was inappropriate because this was not the female that you want to be talking to about if she could be a wife or not. It's just one of those conversations that you wouldn't have, especially with a woman that you actually got caught cheating with. But nonetheless, let's jump into this Anton Daniels and his Micca story to see where they are so that we can kind of get deeper into the story and ask some questions.
So I understand that Anton is married. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you're married.
Correct.
Correct. Have you met Anton's wife?
Yes.
How would you describe her?
With the
Micca,
wife.
I don't think you have a husband. I think that's a safe word for you.
No, well, Tasha, I'm sorry, you can think what you want to think, but I'm telling you the truth. I can't help what you think.
But because you don't move like a married woman.
Okay, so I like this when somebody say you don't move like a married woman, because I feel like there's a lot going on right now in society where a lot of women aren't moving the way that they need to move, or men are not moving the way that they should be moving, especially, in regards to marriage. And I feel like that's what's being lost a lot in a society. We've actually talked on this on the channel, and that's why I love the conversations that we have, because I feel like y'all bring such valid input, as to what you're seeing, and asking yourself the question, okay, when I get married or if I'm married, how I'd want it to actually look, because marriage does have a look. I do think it's not uniform. I wouldn't say that, marriage looks the same all over, all across the board, but there are certain things that are very, very similar, that you can say, okay, well, you know what, yeah, you did this with your husband, I would probably be doing that as well, outside of the people who go very wide and decide that they're swingers. That's all I'm saying.
And has Anton met your husband?
In person, absolutely not.
He has not met him in person. Has he met him over the phone or in DM? What other form of introduction when you say not in person?
Because a lot of people assume that when you have to see people, it has to be in person.
Okay, so let me jump into that first before we get back into the Tasha's clip. So what's big on this is that she's met Anton Daniels' wife, okay? But he has not met her husband. Both of them are doing business together. No, it'd be cool if the business was just like business that's normally you working in a space in the same state. They live in two separate states, what I get to understand. In other words, she's flying to Detroit from time to time. He's flying her into Detroit and she's doing these pop-ups with him. No, they're not just regular business, because one of them does entail her going to a basketball game, and it does have a photo of both of them like posing up together, going to this, basketball game that they have going on. If you were the spouse, if you were her spouse, I think it would be safe to say that you'd be thinking if there's anything going on. Because personally, if I saw that, I would think something is going on with my wife. In fact, I'm certain that if she saw me like that, she'd also think that something is going on as well. But I could be wrong. I'm just asking y'all, would that look great? Wouldn't you want to meet this person that your spouse is with? Because notice, it's almost like what I get from the Micca girl here. Anton has the respect for his wife, so much so that he ensures that she meets his wife. But basically, she doesn't have the same respect for her husband because she has not allowed her husband to actually meet this man in person. And why I say in person is because of the type of dealings that they're doing. That's what I would say.
I'm not here to talk about my husband.
I'm here to talk about your character. I don't know how Anton Daniels' wife do things, but I'm from the South. All I'm saying is, this is the first time that I've seen a dynamic like this. And now you guys are doing business trips together. Your husband is
We
nowhere
do,
near
we do
around.
not we do not do business trips together.
You said you guys met up and he
No.
was in town for a basketball game.
No, what I said, no, ma'am. What I said was I went to Detroit. You said taking business trips together.
Is that not a business trip?
No, you said we took business trips together and we never took.
Did you go to Detroit to see him for business?
I went to Detroit. Correct.
Okay, so that is, and then you guys went to a Detroit basketball game and sat courtside.
So what's going on here with Micca is that Micca is trying to deny the same thing, just like Anton is trying to deny it as well. You know, because there's so much inappropriateness going on between them. It looks inappropriate if you check on it. Now, could it be that nothing is going on? It could be. But it just comes across as being very, like disingenuous. I mean, it doesn't look very genuine. In fact, if you ask me, I would say this. Tasha K is saying she just doesn't move like a married woman. And so people are starting to question if she's even married. But again, I'm going to pose a question to y'all up there. If you were married to a man and the man kept taking trips outside of the state with some other person he's calling his business personnel, and you have never met this person in public, and they're going to basketball games together and they're going out together, how would you look at that? Do you look at that as something, or is that look at as nothing? Are they much ado about nothing? Is that appropriate or is it inappropriate? And by the way, Anton has been stating that he's like a Christian essentially, and I think that's why the judgment comes down, because he puts himself across as a conservative Christian. So because of that, people are very caught up into the storyline in itself. If you follow what's going on, it's almost like, how Anthony does his thing, when put himself on as his person, but then he's doing these things behind the back. That's just about the same thing. But I kind of wanted just to kind of pinpoint this to you, because I wanted to show y'all that, from real life to skit life, it does happen. That's all I'm trying to show y'all. So, hey, just like what you see, it looks ridiculous in the skits, it's just as ridiculous in real life. Give me a take. Y'all can check out this content. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Talk to y'all soon.